Hey guys,
What's up?
how's it going?
Welcome to Thursday Night Live. This will be the last one. Mr. Davis won't be joining us tonight, but hopefully you guys caught the previous two episodes. If you didn't, you can catch them on our YouTube. But also, as far as announcements are concerned, thank you guys, everybody who came out to the Central Kentucky Mystical Market, came to see us, came to see our buddy Mike. With trash talking. That was really awesome of you guys. If you stopped by and shook his hand, got some info.
And you came to see Tyree.
Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We have a flame.
Put him out.
Ain't that it?
No, don't set this bitch on fire. So,
Okay. Who's Mike Jordan?
That would be Mike.
like
Hippie
our
Mike.
Yeah,
Our Mike.
Oh,
our Mike.
I didn't know his last name.
Yeah, that's his actual name.
Yeah, well, for now.
For now, there's things upcoming for that, but yeah, thank you guys. Come and see Mr. Tyree. Come to see Mike. All our friends, Rocky Hounds was there. If you saw her, April was floating around. Miss Joni Kahn was there. Mr. Ken Boggle was there. Plinkies was there. There was a lot of people, a lot of awesome people, a lot of awesome vendors, a bunch of people that, of course, I don't have the time to mention, but everybody there is usually an awesome individual. So we're glad everybody popped out for that. Next week is going to be Tarot Night Live. Come in, get your cards flipped. All you have to do is pop into the comments, let us know what kind of reading you want. If you have no idea, say that you want a general. And let us know which reader you would prefer. Mm-hmm. If you don't know, just say it's up to our discretion. We'll flip a coin, play paper, rock, scissors, make asses of ourselves on internet television. Just for your pleasure, quote unquote.
Your entertainment?
Entertainment.
Entertainment?
Also, for those that donate stars, you guys get bumped to the top of the list because technically you are paying customers at that particular point. And you get the option for what we call an all read, which is a tandem reading from literally any mechanic who is currently reading.
So, next month, they are actually live as far as the links, but we have the links for the 300 level classes. So, the 13th of September at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard, we will be offering Entities and Attachment taught by Steve. We offer that in person and online. The 14th at 2 p.m., Mr. Davis is going to be teaching Seals, Sigils, and Wards, which y'all got a little bit of a taste of last live.
Cough, cough. It was pretty cool.
And if you missed it, check it out on our YouTube. It'll still have the same sort of effect just because he was instructing. So, and then the 14th at 5 p.m., we will be offering the Psychic Vampire class taught by me. So, those are the 300s this month.
So you're teaching us how to suck.
So those are the 300s this month.
I know what you're thinking.
So don't say this too loud. So you're going to teach us how to suck on dick.
Oh no. If you haven't seen the ticker, this is an 18 plus show.
Side note, those are an African deer. Anyway, look it up at your discretion. D-I-K. D-I-K.
Dip.
Hi, Ross.
So,
Hi, Terry.
they're just little dicks.
Hi, Jacob.
Hi, Mike.
They're not big dicks. They're little dicks.
Actually, they are smaller than most typical deer.
You're not helping yourself.
No, I'm
not. Also, before we get started, I did not release any videos to Brian this week. So if you guys are going to be looking for the quick word or the forecast, I did not do them this week. It was important that I took time for me this week. So thank you guys for understanding that. If you didn't, fuck you. And, you know,
Mike said dicklets.
dicklets.
This is an 18+ show. We have a ticker.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We have mandingos and then we have dicklets. Both are animals.
You know what's bad is I genuinely can't remember if that's what the babies are called.
Dicklets?
I don't remember.
It is surely not.
You know what? Hold up. I'm gonna have to fucking Google this. We're going on a trip, y'all. See, just for proof.
It looks like a chihuahua from here. What a bun. I wouldn't know what you were holding a fucking picture of. Hey, it's a dicklet. No, it's a fucking dog. Godspeed to anybody who watches this as their first video.
Oh no! Obligatory mic.
Again, this is an 18+ show.
Mhm.
We take what we do seriously. We just don't take ourselves seriously. So hopefully everybody watching can take a joke.
If you can't, you're on the wrong stream.
You 100% are.
So, this month so far has been pretty cool. We have had a guest speaker. Okay. No, but Mr. Davis, seriously, a shout out to him for coming on and teaching with us because that was spectacular.
Absolutely.
Going over invocation and evocation, bringing things in and the presence forward and all that good business. So tonight we're talking about divination. Damn it. Like put El Chupacabra Taco Bell. That brings out a diglet.
Oh my god. Fuck. So how'd the vet bill go for that fucking dicklet?
The El Chupacabra Taco Bell.
That thing looks like Salvador Dali painted a fucking chihuahua. It looks like, you know, someone's backyard dog's retarded cousin.
Black flames in the comments.
It's like if Bambi, you know, got the fate of his mom but survived.
Oh.
So
Fuck.
Look, if we're gonna get raw about it, we're gonna get raw about it.
Much like the dick.
Just you can't get raw with a little dick. That's just not how that works.
No, but they're like feigning goats level scared. Like, it's easy as shit to scare those fuckers, and then they just essentially sort of like die. What? I have a wildlife management minor. It's bad.
Jesus. Fucking wow. All right.
Divination.
I should leave you fucks alone to do this fucking live stream.
Divination.
So, divination is essentially the process of looking for any kind of knowledge of the future or getting insight through supernatural means. Now, a lot of people, you know, think, you know, esoterics and all this other shit when it comes to supernatural. And technically, esoterics, metaphysics, occultism, all of that is a part of the supernatural. But all supernatural means is it's outside the realm of what we understand is natural. That's it. That's all. That's look the fucking term up.
Russ said, "Fuck, I can't breathe."
You know, we aim to please. You know?
Yes.
But
Supernatural, kind of like looping that back into our previous topic about clairs.
mhm.
It's literally just an enhanced version. Supernatural is not necessarily the definition that people typically think.
Supernatural and paranormal are literally hand in hand. You know, paranormal is something that is literally above and beyond human consciousness. It's what we understand in the waking world, where supernatural is just something that already exists in nature. It just exists above what we currently can process. So things like we currently don't understand, you know, how time, quote unquote, time actually works, but we're beginning to. Time itself is a supernatural construct. Metaphysics, we understand that light is literally what promotes everything from communication, from your base understanding of your five senses to your clairs, which is the supernatural version of your five senses, to what is considered psychic. And I hate that fucking word, but
Sensitive?
what it's all the same anymore. You know, even sensitive is becoming a derogatory term, but what would be considered psychic? So literally mind over matter things. So what we're looking at here as far as divination are things that we naturally already do or are attuned to that we are actually appealing to. Now, you can do that through different medium. You can also do that through your flavor of divine. That would be the quote unquote above and beyond means, or what most people would consider supernatural. But essentially, what is that to prayer? What is that to petition? What is that to offering? It's literally the same fucking thing. So, divination is the process of using invocation and evocation in tandem. They're not interchangeable, but they are part of the divination process. Use one to move to the other to create divination. And sometimes it goes in a round, in a cycle, in order to create that divination. So, what are some examples? If you had to go into divining, what are some examples? One of the biggest examples, at least as far as quote unquote supernatural, would be a divining rod or a dowsing rod. Now, we're not talking about the copper poles that you hold or the brass, poles that you hold. We're talking about how an old man can walk out into his field, pick up a forked stick, hold it on both sides, and walk himself to exactly where he needs to dig his next well. That is a divining rod. So, what actually happens, and this is what makes it really cool, is the stick acts as a focal point. We focus on the stick, focus on the stick. Stick's pulling my hand this way, that means need to walk that way. Well, what's actually happening is these farmers understand their land. They understand the situation of it. And they understand where the well needs to be placed in accordance to where the last one was placed. They just don't consciously understand that process. So what they're actually doing is they're following the electromagnetic shift of the underground stream or river or water source. They're drawn to it because they feel the pull of it. It's actually really cool shit. similar to what we've been talking about of the ebb and flow of tides, because the moon, it's the same situation. It's really cool to watch. Now, likewise, you can use dowsing rods, which are also used for the same fucking thing. You can use dowsing rods to help you with your intuition or to talk to spirits that are around or to gain clarity on where missing objects are. You can use them for a lot of cool things. It's also a form of divination. The dowsing rods are your focal point. So, what are you actually doing? Where would the invocation be when using dowsing? Where's the invocation?
So in this particular regard, I think that we might need to also clarify that sometimes people use the dowsing rods themselves.
Mhm.
That's not always the best way to do it if you're actually trying to get unbiased information. Just as a side, having somebody else facilitate is the best way to do that if you're actually wanting unbiased information. But as far as the invocation,
Mhm.
it would be the grounding and then somebody else asking the question. Because the actual act would be the evocation.
So, invoking is drawing the presence inward. So, if we're doing that, if we're hearing how to use the dowsing rods and we're doing it in tandem, taking that person's question into account and the energy presented by it, we're drawing it to us, processing it through, and allowing the rods to move. 99.9% of the time, if you're using dowsing rods, you are the one that's moving them. That's the reason why you're supposed to have somebody else, like Pat was saying. It's invoking when you're like, okay, ask the question. And you step back, allow them to ask the question so that your body can actually process what's being asked in an unbiased situation. Because someone else is asking questions that you may not, it's unbiased in that sense. And you're able to intuitively move the rods to where they need to go. So, evocation would be
The actual moving.
Mhm.
The yes, no, or maybe.
Yep. So one of the other big ones, the big elephant in the room is, tarot reading, tarot and oracle. It's a form of divination. You are asking an outside source, whether that be guides, your flavor of divine. If you're doing mediumship reads, you're looking at the spirit or spirits around you, giving you information, different types of entities like Fae, if you rock with Fae. You're asking outside sources for information, with the cards being your divination tool. Invoking with this is an easy one. You're literally asking the question out loud. You're calling on your flavor to interpret that question and give you the answer through the cards. You are invoking towards your deck. As you flip the cards, you're evoking that presence. Tell me what these cards mean. What does this say about this person's situation, this individual as a whole, whatever it is that you're getting ready to read this person for? You're evoking that presence. Okay, tell me. They asked the question, and I brought you in. Now I'm asking you to be here with me during this reading. Divination is an interesting thing because regardless of what it is that you decide to use as a focal point, even yourself to a certain degree. How do mediums work? How do different types of psychics work? How do the clairs pop the way they do? And why is it that they do what they do? They're all divination. You are your own divination tool. You're your own divining rod. You're your own tarot deck. At the end of the day, all the tools are just that. They're focal tools. They're a way for you to take your bias and your inhibition away so that you can actually properly invoke and evoke a situation to divine the closest thing to a correct answer. It's neat shit.
What do you always say about your forks, Tyree?
They're pretty.
They are pretty. And thank you, Gabby, for saying that I look pretty. But no. What do you always say about your forks? What do you tell clients about your forks?
That they tell me more than what you tell me.
Divination. It's a focal point. It's a focal tool. The forks will, just like cards will, just like accoutrements will,
Different crystals.
different talismans, different setups. All of it tells a story. Divination is an awesome thing. You're going to see how it's frowned upon in certain sects, certain religions, and the reason why is approaching God in that manner is frowned upon in those particular sects and religions. Does it mean that it is any different than lighting a candle and going into prayer? No. Is it any different than, going through a blot and calling to Odin? No. Is it, any different than insert practice, insert answer? No, it's no different. What you're doing is you're calling on something other than yourself to give you the answers that you need concerning a situation that you have no answers for.
And PSA, guys, if you do decide to use divination of some sort and you do not specify who directly you are talking to, please be very mindful of that. Please, at the very least, say source, universe, something, because if you don't specify, you don't necessarily know what could actually be answering you. And that actually segues me into my question for you.
Mhm.
The other kind of elephant in the room, Ouija boards.
Yeah. So, Mr. Davis and ourselves, through one of, or both of, actually, I think that we made mention of Ouija boards at least a little bit. We touched on that a little bit, I think, especially with evocation, last week. So I think we really kind of ran train on it.
I mean, it was kind
but
of.
but with a Ouija board, what you're doing is you are invoking. You are asking, for whoever or whatever to actually enter the board so that it can speak to you. Then you are evoking the board for a response. Here is a vessel for you. I am invoking you. Now that you're there, I am evoking you to come forward. The presence goes in, invoking. The presence is called on, evoking. Divination is the asking of the questions. Okay, well, are we talking to Uncle Whatever? He died in this house by choking on a chicken bone 30 years ago, and, Grandma's still pissed off that he died at the table. We need to know that he's actually okay. How do you know that it's actually Uncle Whatever? You don't. You have to open a Ouija board session understanding who and what it is you want and need to talk to, and that boundary has to be laid before you ask the first fucking question. I know that Uncle Whatever had died in this room at this table. My grandmother's still pissed about it. I am talking to him and him alone. Yo, uncle, whatever, I need you to let us know if you're still holding that grudge because it was actually Granny's cooking that killed you. It wasn't the chicken bone. And if it's uncle, whatever, he's going to go, I don't give a fuck, I'm dead.
Or LOL.
Or AFK, you know? BRB in 12 years, you know, whatever it is, he's going to give that answer, but it's going to be an obvious answer that he would give. If he was a jokester, then you'd have that kind of a laugh sort of response. If he was more straight and to the point, yeah, it was, you know, mom's cooking that fucking killed me. Of course it was. She was terrible. You know, those kinds of things would come out. Now, if you don't have those clear, defined boundaries, what you're doing is you're leaving that invocation open for anything, as was stated, anything that wants to talk. And this could be anything from any random spirit, any, guide, any,
Entity.
any entity, any fae, any demonic, anything dark natured, anybody who would want to harm. You're literally on a party line at that point. This is something that, the mechanics have always said. For those of you that are old enough to know what the fuck a party line is, you're basically on a party line in a chat room, in a lobby, insert generation, insert fucking analog. You're in this space where you are there with, 10s to 20s to even hundreds of people. And they're all talking at once, and everybody wants to be heard and understood. And there is one person that speaks louder than anybody else, and that would be you activating that Ouija board. All eyes are now on you. All ears are now on you, because you were the loudest in the room and made the most sense. Whoever gets to that phone, whoever gets to that headset, whoever gets to the keyboard first is the one that talks to you. But can you see that person? A lot of times you can't. Can you truly take that person's voice for who they are? You don't know them. Do you have the ability to, tell any form of distinctive quality? No. Do you know their background? No. Do you know their intentions? No. You are literally talking to a complete and utter random stranger. So any information that you give this random stranger is now theirs to do with what they want. And that is the danger there.
April said, always tell it goodbye. Close the damn door.
Yep. Getting into that, every Ouija session should have rules. As much as a lot of people fucking hate that word, it's important in this particular respect because of that whole thing of speaking to anything and everything.
Boundaries. It's why we hammer them home so hard. You would be fucking shocked how many people tell us that they've successfully closed a Ouija board session and they have the gross funk on them because they haven't. Or worse, we find it.
We don't have Ouija boards in the house.
It sounds like fucking nails across a chalkboard. It, like, out of a level 1 to 10 on a volume, probably a 14. It's awful.
Roll right in, go to the closets. What's this? Oh, we forgot that was there. Yeah, I bet.
Or, it's also similar to those of you that are a bit more clear tangent, it's kind of like somebody repeatedly shoving their fucking finger in your third eye. Yeah, it's awful. Please close them appropriately and please use boundaries with a Ouija board.
Set your protections up. Make sure that it's done in a heavily clean space. And it doesn't necessarily have to be pristine as far as physical cleanliness. I mean,
Sage your shit.
that. Smudge. Make sure your shit's clear. That way you don't have to stress as much about shit being around that shouldn't be around. Then set your boundaries up before you start. Before the fucking planchette touches the board, set your boundaries. Then, when the planchette touches the board, state who you're talking to and only who you want to talk to.
So, a popular question we get asked, Steve, why is there such a difference with a Ouija board and cards?
So here's, if you want the short answer, there isn't one. There isn't one. If you want the short answer, there isn't a difference. There's not a single difference. Every divination tool works the fucking same, even a pendulum. Even your dowsing rods, cards, crystals, any of it. Doesn't matter. If you are asking it for any kind of advice, any kind of answer, any kind of movement, any kind of anything, you're divining. And at that particular moment, you're not asking who. You're not asking what. You're just asking questions, aren't you? Those objects, when they're used as divination tools, regardless of what the tool is, will draw because of the energy that's being output. The intention is to get an answer from something outside of yourself. If you don't fucking state who or what, then anything will come and answer. And depending on what it is that you're using, it won't stay with the object because it never touched it. Invoking is an interesting thing because you can invoke into something. If you don't invoke into something, then you are invoking it to a space or to yourself. If you evoke something and you call something forward, if it has no object to sustain it, it is able to free float. That's the reason why Davis had mentioned summoning circles, had talked about using crystals and objects and sigils and seals and wards. That's the reason why they are important. Because you can place an entity or a presence or an energy into a stone and carry it with you. And then literally, I'm calling this presence forth. I'm evoking person, place, thing, entity at this particular point in time through this stone. What else are you doing when you are using cards? I am asking, and most readers will do this, whether they do it silently or they do it in front of their fucking client. I am calling on my guides, on my flavor, on my entourage. I'm opening myself up to speak to or have the people that are with my client speak to me as well. Their guides can talk to me. Their family can talk to me. Their flavor can talk to me. But you are literally laying down the law. It's the other reason why you're asking specific questions. You're invoking the presence to the cards. You are evoking them to speak through the cards. The answer you get is your divination for the other person. So, what is a Ouija board? The same fucking thing. You are literally invoking into the board. You are evoking into the planchette when you ask questions. And the answer you get is your divination. Is there a fucking difference? There is not. Every single divination tool should be used as a tool. If it is misused, then you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Think of this kind of like OSHA for fucking metaphysics. Just be very cautious with what you do. It's why we push boundaries so hard. It's why we encourage everybody to actually take care of their spaces. It's why it's important for your mind, body, and spirit to all be on the same page, because if any one of those things is off, it can greatly shift what it is you feel like your boundaries are and what it is you think you need in the moment.
100%.
Not only that, but it can also really disrupt the connection with your flavor or with the other person that you're trying to read for. So, all in all, be safe and be smart. Use your fucking boundaries, please.
Use your boundaries, state your intention. It's not a difficult process to stay safe. It's really not. Most people integrate that stuff into their practice anyway. You may as well just continue it.
Well, it's kind of like, if you walk up using actual tools as an example, if you walk up to a bandsaw, you're not just going to be like, oh, fuck it, let me stick my hand in this if it's on. If you are, then
There are interesting internal reasons that are yours alone.
But if you think about divination tools as the same thing, just read the instruction manual. Be smart about what it is that you're doing. And ask questions if you have them. Specifically to other people. You know what I mean? Shit, we're at the booth all the time and we don't have a problem answering those questions.
No.
Shoot us a message.
We're always reachable, whether we're, public access or not. And truthfully, you can make an appointment. If you want it online, you can make an appointment for most days.
Mm-hmm.
We got comments?
Yes.
Let's see what we got.
April Kennedy said, hey, impulse control ADHD here. Just don't stick your hand in bandsaws, please. Or
burning tools.
Yeah.
Well, she's probably been there and done that one.
Well, I mean, that's a bit easier to do when you're doing it consistently. But, just be careful, guys. Rich said, good info, thanks. And April said, get the salt when you were talking about Ouija boards being open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that shit really hurts. But it's also the other reason Steve always says you can't lie to a psychic. And I'm pretty sure that you got that one from Joni, right?
Yep. Miss Joni Kahn was the one that coined that. We stole it.
April's telling Tyree to hush. But
You're telling her secrets.
shit. But as far as that goes, practice safe stuff, please. If I get too into that, it's going to sound like practice safe sex, but it's pretty much the same fucking thing.
I mean, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
You want to have your boundaries if you're going to get fucked. Let's call it what it is. But as far as divination, to get out of some of the sternness, you can use divination for some awesome things.
Oh, yeah.
As long as, you followed the proper procedure, which is honestly not difficult. It's literally just being honest about the situation and who you want to talk to about it. It's really not that hard, y'all, promise. But you can find a lot of cool shit out through divination. Things that are, soon to happen. Things that are possibilities based off of choices. You can find, as we mentioned at the beginning of this, you can find hidden objects, sometimes even missing people
Yeah.
or missing animals. You can do a lot of really cool shit. You can also, through divination, petition and help other people through prayer or offering. You can really open yourself up as long as you know who you're talking to. You can open yourself up to actually communicate with your flavor, with your guides, with your, because you're using a communication tool, whether that is you or something else. You're still using a communication tool to get there. It's really neat stuff.
So, do we have any questions? April said she only tried to torture her a couple times.
Jeez.
And Rich was like, LMAO, as far as the practicing safely. I mean, April said, I found a Civil War button. Use the Egyptian deck to contact my mom's Civil War dude. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's kind of the other thing, as far as decks, people that tend to have quite a few of them, they have dedicated decks for dedicated things. And it's always said, this is my deck for this.
Mm-hmm.
It's the boundary that's always placed on that deck.
This is the only thing I use it for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I run a deck that does not leave the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is only to be used here.
Because, yeah. Yeah.
But with the definition, it isn't always about stuff for the future or the present. You can find out a lot of stuff about yourself from the past.
Mm-hmm. There are certain decks, there are certain layouts as well, certain draws that you can do for past life readings. There's a lot of cool shit that you can do. Certain divination tools for meditation, which is an interesting layer. You can use divination in meditation. I vibe out with this crystal. I give this crystal this intention, and then I meditate with crystal in hand. I get cool effect from that.
Yeah.
That's how it do. But you can get some really cool shit. Get past life regression shit. Can you always get the clearest of answers? No. Sometimes they're blaring. Other times it's vague as shit. But you can get answers that way, especially depending on who it is that you ask and the way you ask it.
Renee said, solve my family mystery with divination. And talking about divination, talking to Gma on the other side. It was amazing. Thank you for the lessons, guys. Fuck yeah. And April said, my Egyptian deck follows me. I swear it always ends up on me. Yeah. And Kimberly said, oh, I have a Manly P Hall deck, but it's in French. It's like a mini deck. I like mini decks. They're fun sometimes.
They're fun size.
Yeah. And Rich said, do y'all have an answer why we tend to remember the past, but we can't remember like last week?
So some of that is biological. And the biggest thing is some people subscribe to the fact that repression could be a thing, triggering situations can be a thing, stress can be a thing. Certain illnesses can cause something that everybody refers to as fog, which is where the brain kind of derps for a little bit and has difficulty processing. So short-term memory and certain kind of judgment. So you have a little bit of impaired judgment or decision-making skills kind of. But the other thing is it depends on what it is that your focus is. Your brain will automatically create new neural pathways for the things that you tell it are important. So it's always going to, that's the reason why, you'll remember a fuck ton of trivia I find this cool, but you can't remember your coworker's name. Oh, that's
That's old long face.
right. That's old horse face. He's that's the guy that steals everybody's food. What's that guy's name? He always shows up late to work. And then someone else is like, oh, that's
Chuck.
Chuck. Yeah, that's right. Chuck's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And then a few days later, what's that guy's name again? Oh, horse face.
Oh, Chuck, that's a fuck.
Oh, that's right. Chuck's fucking asshole. It goes in that round because that particular individual, he is a coworker, yeah, and you may not want any harm to come to him, but is he important to your life? No.
Other than being an asshole.
And stealing, food and whatever. But that's what I'm saying, is the brain will automatically go, this is what you find important, so this is the emphasis. It's also the reason why we give affirmations and why affirmations are so important, because a lot of times you'll get into the self-conditioning of things or have abuse-directed conditioning or just circumstantial conditioning. So life happening and you getting accustomed to it. And it winds up creating delusions or things that you tell yourself that aren't true. I'm not worthy. I can't fix this. I deserve all this bullshit. This is karma and God that are punishing me. All these other things. That's why when you go to do affirmations, it feels weird. It's why you don't want to deal with it, and why a lot of people will literally twitch or cringe or fiddle or do things. It's because the brain is telling you that something is different and that it's scared because it's different. But when you say those affirmations, the reason why you eventually understand that they are true, as opposed to, well, if I do this, I'm faking it till I make it, is because there are new neural pathways and the brain goes, oh, this is what's real. This is what you've chosen for us to live by. So that is what's real. And that's the reason why, a lot of times people will go, I used to be like this, but then I remembered. Or I used to think this, but then I remembered this one thing. Is because they got it figured out and they were like, well, it's not true because this thing happened. This is how it actually happened. This is how it was actually said. This is how it was actually done. And it's the same thing with any other memory. Eventually, the things that you don't use and the things that you don't put a emphasis on as far as importance, the brain just ditches because it wants to learn new shit. So that's kind of how it works, at least in a biological sense. Psychologically, we already talked about that a little bit. Sometimes we just don't remember because we don't want to.
Yeah, he said kind of like remembering bad in people, but not so much when they do good. Yeah. You were
exactly.
hurt. So the brain goes, oh God, oh shit.
You got to protect it. Got to protect the body. It's too stupid to do it itself. And there you go. It goes into fight or flight mode, and what people refer to as reptile brain takes over, and that's pretty much what happens. This person, place, or thing is scary and a problem, so we're always going to remember that something similar to person, place, or thing is a problem. And that's where that conditioning comes in. Where was person, place, or thing an actual problem, or was it a misunderstanding? So
Renee tossed our 3 up, so I just put it up on the screen.
Oh, thank you.
I am worthy, I am loved, I am healing. These 3 affirmations I learned from y'all.
Those are the ones that we give to everybody. And the reason why is they're short, sweet, to the point, and you can't fuck them up. And that's not just for y'all, that's for us too. Mm-hmm. We can't overburden with those or leave them open for interpretation. Those are literally statements. They're boundaries. They're 100% what they are.
There's a period at the end of the sentence.
Yep.
So, looping back to divination,
Mhm.
we currently don't have any other questions.
Awesome.
Okay, now speaking of which, one divination tool that I have found that's just as dangerous as Ouija boards. And it's the most beautiful divination tool I've got in my collection. And that is the Black Mirror.
Scrying.
Yeah.
So scrying mirrors are an interesting tool. Scrying in and of itself is a type of divination. You can use reflective surfaces like mirrors. That's what I always used. I've used bowls of water. There's a lot of cultures that will use water, still water, so the reflective surface. Some will use oils. Some will use obsidian. He's got an obsidian scrying mirror. But any reflective surface that is still, you can use as a scrying device. And basically, what you're doing is you are invoking a spirit, a presence of God, a this, a that, an energy, whatever, into the mirror. And then you are evoking it to create an image. Show me this. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to notice. Give me the answer to this. Show me how this works. And the divination is the image that you see as a result. Scrying is very cool. It's very useful. Especially when you're trying to pinpoint spaces to astral project. If you are deep diving into yourself, if you are trying to help someone from a distance, you can use a scrying mirror to literally dial in exactly where and what is going on. The problem is what's giving you that information.
Gotta have them boundaries. Gotta be specific when you ask who you wanna talk to.
Who's showing you what?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, mine's Thimble Dick, the fucking demon. So I'm going to show you exactly what's going on, but I'm going to take your skin as a result. Yeah, and you get exactly what you want, but so do they. Whereas, look, I'm asking my creator, I'm asking source, nature, insert deity. I'm asking, my guides. I'm asking the name of this, dead soul, this dead party, whoever, to show me. I need to understand. Show me what it is you saw or that you see, or show me what this is, what this situation is at the moment or whatever. Then that entity or person is going to give you their best shot at giving you the information through a physical image.
So we do have a couple of questions now. And April said, I'm practicing water divination. Fuck yeah, dude. Just do it safely.
That water is a universal conduit. Keep them boundaries up.
Renee said, how about automatic writing?
Automatic writing is still divination, and it is still the same thing. This one is a little bit more dangerous than most because you are invoking into yourself. I'm taking the presence in, and I'm evoking the response. I am allowing it to write. Not speak through me, not act through me, other than to write, but it can write through me. It can draw through me. It's a type of channeling that you have to be very specific about what it is that you're doing. If you just open yourself up and go, yeah, anybody can take the pencil, you're literally leaving yourself open to be jumped by anything. Yeah, the focus is on the pencil or pen or whatever, but it's still working through you. That's the thing to make sure that you understand. The divination would be the actual writing. the words given, the picture drawn, that kind of thing. But yeah, you are using yourself as a divination tool. It's just another form of being a conduit or channeling. It's literally the same thing. Only instead of being a mouthpiece, you have some semblance of control by saying all you can do is write or draw through me. That's it. That's literally the only difference.
Rich said, I have borders on my canvas. I try to summon an inner Monet. Paint and fingers have to be my tools. Is this analogy legit?
Yes, absolutely. It is 100%. You are invoking an energy. I would like to experience this artist. I would like to channel this artist's energy. And you are invoking that presence into yourself, and you're calling it forward to produce your artwork. Yeah, absolutely. And that's 100% the right way to do it.
Renee said, pound of flesh is a pound of flesh. A debt needs to be paid.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, guys. Do we have any other questions about divination? Well, so it's 10:13, so we can give it another couple minutes for y'all
Yeah.
to type them out.
Yeah, because y'all seem to be a little bit more active on this one.
Mm-hmm. Rich said, cool.
Yeah, absolutely, man. 'Tis how it works.
And as far as divination, I don't have anything else to add if we don't have any other comments. Do you, Terry?
No. I'm sitting here trying to think.
Same.
What have I got myself into that well, see, that's like with my mirror. I actually have one sitting in the room with us,
Oh, yeah.
but it is covered up because I don't want to see the reflections.
Boundaries.
Uh-huh.
All right. Because it's literally the same as closing a Ouija board session. All right,
Yeah.
we're done. It's like clicking off a television, and we're done.
April asked, does that mean that I channel Ptah?
Yeah. If Ptah is your muse, of course you do. That's the whole point of a muse. You're invoking, you're asking for that God to come and work through you. You're evoking through your presence, allow me to take in what you have to give me. And as you do the thing, the artwork that you create as a result, especially when you dip out, this is all Ptah. I don't know how this fuck came out. That is 100% divination.
How do I turn them off so I can sleep? LMAO. Boundaries.
Still the same word.
Boundaries.
Boundaries.
Same word. No means no.
And and yeah, thanks for joining us tonight, guys. Absolutely happy to do the hangout and happy to provide information if we can.
Absolutely. Hopefully, everybody's had some fun. You learned a couple things. Apparently, the comments are funny.
I'm giggling about the first part of the live.
Oh,
For those who missed it.
Go back and rewatch. We're not going back in that.
Yeah. I said, yeah, ignores me on my box 6 now. Girl, take a break for 1 and 2. Tell them you need to fucking sleep.
that just because they're a god doesn't mean that you can't have your boundaries.
Just see if Sobek will help you.
Literally, you're not a slave. You're a channel.
And that's a relationship that I don't think he would be super. Yes, thank you for the flames.
Oh, geez, thanks.
He's got something special for y'all next week. whether he believes it or not. We're going to do something heinous to him and have him read cards.
But
Speaking of reading
do you
cards,
want me to die? No, I don't want you to die, dude. I like you very much, and I like you on this plane. I just totally get that you need fucking rest. At the very least, your hands. Arthritis. It's a thing.
there's a point where they begin to break down.
So it's just talking about it's just talk. But-
So many flames.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of divination, we'll be back next week doing the cards for Tarot Night Live.
Yeah, you can absolutely sign up before we get booked up for the day. Just send us a message on Facebook, Kimberly, and you can totally get down on the books. We can have you set up for a specific appointment time, because that actually is a great thing to bring up for us. Thank you. If you want an appointment with us, whether it's at the market, whether it's in person here at the shop at a different point in time, please message us, because we don't have a problem doing appointments. We just have to make sure that it works for the schedule. And lately at the markets, we've been really blessed at the fact that our books have filled up.
We've been busy.
We've been busy.
But we do have a sign-in sheet. We do appreciate everybody that's come by and signed in. A couple of the clients that we had over the weekend took a lot longer than what we were expecting. But we are the kind of people that if you need us, we're not going to shoo you away. So they were actually in need and needed the time. So unfortunately, we couldn't get to everybody. But that's the reason why we do this kind of stuff outside of the events as well. So
Yeah, that's the one thing with their booth as well as my booth. Come get your work done, but you're not really set to a time limit.
And
we do what needs to be done and what you want us to do.
we're service based.
the shop, actually, if you live in Winchester, it's a super great location. Tyree, where's the shop?
The shop is, that's something we've not done in a while.
That's why I was like, dude, the
Ooh.
thing. 1018.
No, okay, I just got shooed away, so.
No, I need him to say the address.
The shop is the Missing Element Shop at 1018 East New Circle Road, Lexington, Kentucky, 40505.
Sweet.
Suite 114 and 112. If
Yeah.
you're familiar with Lexington, we sit diagonal from Sam's Club.
On New Circle.
Yep.
So right off
across
Winchester
from
Road.
Palmer Road.
That's it.
Yeah. So it is just by appointment only, because 9 to 5s and trying to make sure that we at least schedule sleep for ourselves, because I'm keeping us accountable too, April. We need that shit too.
Sleep is for pussies and people that care about their health.
So anyway,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Google doesn't tell you our shop is in the back of the building.
it is. So yeah. I mean, it's one of those, it's in the back of the building, but I mean, we actually have decent parking usually after 5 p.m.
Usually.
Usually after 5 p.m.
Actually, we've been having a little bit better parking during the day as well.
Fuck
oh,
yes.
good, yeah.
How about that?
But yeah, it's usually better after 5.
But since we're pitching ourselves at the moment, so it's shop. We do have a little bit of retail. You also have access to Mr. Tyree with his tuning forks and sound bowls for sound baths.
Not exactly, because my healing room's not set back up yet. I've been lazy.
That's okay. If you have an appointment, though, it will be.
Yeah.
You can also get readings from us here. So soul DNAs, past life regressions, we have to do those here just because they can be a bit more in depth. There's an intake process for that one, just to make sure that you've got one presenting. That way it's not, we know what it is that you're getting into potentially, at least have an idea. And we can do elemental affinities here. We can do stone attunements as well. So quite a bit of different stuff. We can also do several of those things virtually.
And speaking of soul DNA, I just had mine done tonight. They're awesome.
Yeah. Steve does an amazing job.
Thank y'all very much.
So, with that in mind, if you would like an appointment with us, please message us here on Facebook. You can also message Mr. Tyree and or the Missing Elements if you're trying to book an appointment. You can swing by. What are the hours, Tyree? So it's best to make an appointment. I say that because you don't always know who's going to be here, but if you're looking for someone specific, it's always best just to make sure that you message us.
Normal hours are 11 to 7,
Okay.
Tuesday through Saturday.
Yes.
But 9 times out of 10, I'm usually here on Sunday and Monday as well.
So
So set up an appointment. We can get us here.
I might do that instead because it gets loud. It does get loud at the market. We do have a door that shuts.
Yeah,
Now.
we are in an enclosed room, so it's much quieter.
And I just also like being hands-on as well. I just want to get a card reading because I met y'all last time. Oh, thank you. Love y'all's energy.
That's very kind.
Thank you. And yeah, you absolutely can. Next week is Tarot Night. So if you're interested, you can always sign up next week as well. We do them for free. If you send stars, it does get you bumped to the top of the list and the chance for all readers to read you. So if you're interested in one of those, you can always pop by next week on the live too. That's at 8:30 Eastern.
Yeah, we start a half an hour early, so it'll be at 8:30, and we usually go until about 10:30. So we cut everybody off as far as readings about 10.
Yeah.
So it's first come, first serve. Come on, get on the list before 10 p.m.
Yeah.
and we'll keep reading until the list is done.
Mm-hmm. Renee, no balls you won't. Saying might have to make the 13-hour visit again.
Actually, Renee, please do. I would like to meet you since I didn't get to meet you the last time you came in.
Oh, that was really wholesome.
It was actually.
Because I missed the...
You did miss a
I
little bit of
missed
Scarefest.
that year.
Yeah, you had to, yeah.
Yeah. And April, of course, I have no idea. I'm here from sunrise till who knows when at night.
That's why I'm saying it's usually best to make an appointment, but we can do a lot of these things virtually as well, especially if, you miss us at a market or if you don't quite have, the time. You can totally see us at other points in time other than the market. That's just something we love to do and we do every month. You can always almost guarantee that we'll be there. Leaving for vacation Sunday, we'll holler at y'all and yep, no problem. And probably come during the week. Sure thing. Just send us a message and hope you have a safe vacation.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Enjoy yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Also, guys, remember, classes are coming up very, very soon. The links for those are up. And we're going to be doing a whole fucking weekend for you guys. Because we saw
the poll. Thank y'all for voting. That helped us decide which classes to do.
And no pressure. Jeez. But we'll be doing classes on.
So let me pull that back up real quick because I'll give the exact times as well. That's not what I was looking at. My Google popped back up.
Oh no.
She was looking at pictures of dicks.
They're African deer, okay?
South African.
Yes.
Right? Of course they're South African. They're South African and apparently they're little dicks.
So classes in September on the 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. Steve is going to be teaching the entities and attachments class. You can do that class in person and online for either way. Just sign up. We do have 2 separate links, so make sure you pick the one you specifically would like to do.
Also, remember, we do have the package up. So
We do not.
Oh, that's right.
This is the 300s.
This is 300s.
Mhm.
Fuck. Well, sorry.
Okay.
I got used to the last 2 months of pumping this. So our 1 and 200s, we usually have a package where you can buy all the classes at once, and you save a little bit. But where the 300s are individual classes taught by individual, mechanics or outside people that we vetted, they're 60 a piece. So that was the thing. We had our 200s this month
In August.
And, I'm still here in August because
Yes.
it's still fucking August.
So September 13th at 1 p.m., Steve will be teaching entities and attachments, and please be prepared for that to be a workshop.
It is. There are some interesting things that happen.
Mhm.
I introduce certain things
In a safe environment.
in a safe environment. Most of what I'm going to present to you guys is simulated. So I'm not going to just drop an entity in your lap.
No.
But it's a fun one. Everybody seemed to have a good time the last time. So.
And for those of you that have not taken the 1 or 200, that's all right. This round of 300 level classes, it is just recommended. It's not required necessarily. And that specifically is for seals, sigils, and wards, which is going to be taught by Mr. Chris Davis on the 14th at 2 p.m. Eastern. So that one, you can come into the shop and take it here, but it is going to be instructor-led online. So if you want to come out and vibe, or if you're going to be taking the class after that, you can come in. We're just still going to be working on the computer.
Essentially, all of our classes are usually set up to hybridize. So if you want to take it here with people, you can do so, but you're always going to be staring at the computer screen because there's usually going to be someone online.
Yes.
Also for Mr. Davis's class, be prepared to bring a piece of yarn, string, rope, doesn't matter, something that you can loop, and a small object that you don't mind fuck around with. So usually like a crystal or a coin.
It's an awesome class. It's also very workshop heavy. All the 300s are, and that's something to keep in mind, especially for time. So the last class that we're going to be teaching this month is actually going to be taught by me. It's going to be on the 14th at 5 p.m., and that is a psychic vampire class. That is also a workshop. We go through quite a few different things, and you get to experience kind of a safe environment of what you may or may not encounter and how your clairs may or not pop to different types of energetic vampires. So that class, Steve's class, will probably be between 2 and 3 hours, depending on questions. So please allot the time for that. And Mr. Chris Davis's class should be somewhere between an hour and a half to 2.
Mm-hmm. Depending on questions and involvement. Because are they going to 100% take that fucking long? Probably not. But
Probably
we
not.
usually like to allot that time depending on how many people are going to be there, because we usually like to get responses from each individual student. So if you guys have questions or, that we have a lot of students, it's going to take a little bit longer.
Just a little bit. But yeah. So hopefully we'll catch you guys in those classes next month. Once again, those links are up and they're pinned to the top of our page. If you want to take them in person, please just make sure to click the correct link. And that should cover us for classes next month.
Yeah, there's links for both online and in person.
Yep. The only one that doesn't have a link for in person is the seals, sigils, and wards. And that, once again, is because the instructor is going to be virtual. So if you want to come in and take it, just let us know ahead of time so we can accommodate the seats.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, guys, and for the laughs and for discussing divination. Hopefully y'all learned a little bit, even if it was just about South African deer.
Safe. Safe. So, so thank you guys again. We'll see you next week for Tarot Night Live. And as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember that those that have the power to change themselves have the power to change the world around them.